Hello, great Igbo people. Sincerely, I am looking for a way. If there is a way to make the British people pay for all their wrongdoings against Igbo in Nigeria, I am aware they did this to also other places they colonized, just like Belgium, in Congo, in Rwanda. We understand what all these people did for their own benefit. But if I can have my way and see that they pay for all they did to Igbo, they need to pay us compensation for all the harms they did to Igbo. You know, I'm wondering what will be enough to wipe away our tears. The British people so much hurt us, and we are still suffering the hate, the pains, the consequences of what the British people did till today. Some of you would think it's just about the Civil War, giving Nigeria weapons to crush us. No, it's beyond that. Before the Civil War, certain things happened. I would like us to watch this video. Some of you might have seen this video in the past, but this video is good for the archive. They have planted so much hatred, which instigated other ethnicities to begin to hate us for nothing.
When I was growing up, we always say we are Eastern region. That's what we say, we are Eastern region. I don't even know anything about Yoruba or Hausa or anything. Now Igbo, Eastern region. Yes. Now we know. On each market, now we go. When I was growing up, I schooled in Sapele, my secondary school, Zix Academy. Zix Academy. They don't change them now to Okotiebo Grammar School in Sapele. Zix Academy at that time, it's a school that was founded by Nnamdi Azikiwe and Okotiebo. Pa Festus Okotiebo. Now I found Zix Academy. That's where I was when the war broke out. The hatred when they come poison our mind, what is not going to explain. These British people, at that time, no media, nothing. So we just went along with all the lies they told us about the Igbos. Character assassinated the Igbos and they played propaganda about the Igbos. Hey, that's what the person not here. So much that we hated the Igbos. Yes, so help me God. They made us, they poisoned us. When I talk, we say they poisoned us, I am saying that the British and the colonials poisoned our mind against Igbo. And that's what is playing out.
As you can see, the British people poisoned their minds against the Igbo people. And the impact is still being felt today. Very much felt. She also mentioned the Fulanese. And we already know, we are aware. These are ethnicities like ours. We will continue to know how to go about it. But in this particular video, I'm looking at the British hut because they arranged everything. Now, the woman in that video you saw, the grandma, I think she's from Igbo. I hope she's still alive. The video is like 4 to 5 years. I've seen it before, but I decided to use it for my own video today. The game of British, you need to know, is divide and rule. And while they are living, though they did not totally leave, they are still involved, but they gave it to the North. Mainly, the core North, they inherited it. And it is still being applied today to divide us further. And that is why you hear Asari and other people thinking they can intimidate us, telling the North, we make alliance with the North. As if you make alliance with the North, we are finished. We are not finished. Asari with us or against us adds nothing. He's not a force to reckon with. So I'm not even supposed to be mentioning him in some of my videos. So my focus in this video is to let Igbo understand what actually happened, and with such consciousness, you will know how to live. Yes, understanding the root of our problem and how we can go about it. So for their own interest, the British separated us from our brothers. Yes. And that is why you see people in the South region, same ethnicity as ours. Yes, same ethnicity. You know, Igbos speak in various dialects, just like Yorubas and others. Same ethnicity. They are in the area called South. They continue to distance, some of them, though you are seeing the awakening. Yes, we are working seriously. We understand what was done and we are working against it. So many in the South, I'm talking about even the Igbo speakers, not, I may not so much care about the non-Igbo speakers, but the Igbo speakers in the South, trying to distance themselves from us. The Northern-led government, which inherited the British power, continued to do whatever was taught them by British to fragment us. Now you wonder why Ibanke will be in Edo State. Ibakere, Ibanke. And you wonder why you see several Igbo-speaking part of Benue, and Benue is regarded as North. Though recently, the middle belt part of Nigeria are trying to have an identity that is different from North, because those areas is not supposed to be North. But several Igbo people were added, and can you imagine Igbo man of the North, Northern Nigeria? And that is why we are in Ndina Subia, the Igbo Unification Project. That is our work, is to unify Igbo. Some people say they don't see value in what we are doing. Gradually, you will know there is value. Igbo bike, anyokota mamelo na obo fufu. So what the British did was to divide us along regional lines. They know there are several ethnicities in Nigeria. So what they did, they divided us along regional lines. Hausa Fulani, like heading the northern region, the entire northern region, including Middle Belt and the rest of them. Now they went to the west. They gave Yoruba people the power. Now they come to our own side, the eastern region. Igbos were leading. You understand what is happening? But they still came back to eastern region and planted hatred. They poisoned the mind of other ethnicities. And that was what the woman was saying. To hate Ndi Igbo. And that is what you're seeing today. Our main focus is on the ones who speak same language with us, same ethnicity. That is how we can repair the damage. I don't know any other way. If you have an idea, you can put down your idea on the comment section. The British did a lot of damages. And that is why today, let me tell you the fact. I don't even follow any English team as if I'm a fan of, no. I'm not so much interested in anything English. These guys did so much harm. And they did this for their own benefit. For the sake of draining Nigeria's oil, which up to today, Nigeria doesn't know how much is the output. They give them weapons to destroy us. They give them all sorts of assistance. They made them not be at the top. They inspired them. So you understand. But how can we make Britain to pay? Is it by suing them? What do you think? Add your comment on the comment section. It is so sad. Now, I will take you through a brief lecture on what the British people did. I will be out of here. The British colonial administration used a divide and rule strategy which involved fostering divisions between various ethnic groups in Nigeria, including Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa Fulani. This strategy aimed to weaken potential unity among ethnic groups, thereby ensuring British control over the region. As part of this approach, the British sometimes manipulated rivalries or stoked tensions between ethnic groups, leading to conflict, mistrust, and rivalry that persisted long after the colonial era. Key ways the British divided ethnic groups in Nigeria. 1. Creation of political divisions. The British established political structures that reinforced ethnic and regional differences rather than treating the different ethnicities as part of a unified Nigerian nation. The British divided the country into regions based on the ethnic and geographical lines. The northern region dominated by Hausa Fulani, the western region dominated by the Yoruba, and the eastern region dominated by Igbo. This division fostered a sense of competition between the regions and gave rise to ethnic loyalties that often conflicted with the idea of national unity. The British governance structure reinforced these divisions, especially in areas of political and economic control. 2. Encouraging rivalry between Igbo and Hausa Fulani. During the colonial period, the British used different methods to manage each region. The Hausa Fulani in the north were given preferential treatment by the British as they were seen as more willing to collaborate with colonial rule. The British also encouraged the Hausa Fulani aristocracy, who had strong ties to the British administration, to dominate the political and economic structures of the north. In contrast, the Igbo people, who were seen as more independent-minded and resistant to colonial authority, were often left out of key positions of power during the early colonial period. The British used the Hausa Fulani's political system based on a centralized emirate structure as a model to impose authority and control in the north, while they favored more indirect rule in the southeastern region, where the Igbo were more autonomous. This fostered resentment and mistrust between the Igbo and the Hausa Fulani, which was further exacerbated by the political and social systems imposed by the British. In post-colonial Nigeria, these tensions contributed to the political crisis and violence leading up to and during the Nigerian Biafran War, 1967 to 1970. 3. Use of the Yoruba in the West. The Yoruba people were considered more cooperative with the British compared to the Igbo. The British favored the Yoruba elite in the southwestern region of Nigeria, providing them with key administrative roles and education opportunities. This led to the rise of a politically influential Yoruba class during the colonial period. While the Yoruba were not directly incited against the Igbo, the British often used the relative differences in political and economic situations of the region to deepen competition. After independence, political rivalry between the Yoruba and the Igbo contributed to Nigeria's unstable political landscape. The British created regionalism, laid the groundwork for these tensions. 4. Economic disparities. British policies had different economic impacts on the various ethnic groups. The British exploited resources in each region in different ways, leading to varying economic conditions for the Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, and Yoruba. The Igbo region, which was primarily agriculture, faced particular economic challenges due to the British colonial taxation policies and forced labor systems. Meanwhile, the North's more centralized structure allowed the British to extract resources in a more controlled way. These economic differences often led to the friction between the ethnic groups, with British playing on these differences to maintain control. 5. The aftermath of Nigerian Civil War. After Nigeria's independence in 1960, the legacy of British-induced divisions became more pronounced. The Igbo felt marginalized by dominant political structures that were largely controlled by the Hausa Fulani and Yoruba elites. In particular, the Igbo felt that they were unfairly treated in the political order, leading to events that culminated in the Biafran War, 1967 to 1970. The tension between the ethnic groups that the British had once excavated through their colonial policies would play a major role in the outbreak of the Civil War. Please make sure you share this video widely. I am Azuka OJ. Bye bye for now.